If you are an outsourced contractor employee, do not show up with outdated, faulty equipment. Instead, all of your equipment must be clean, well-maintained, and in good working order. The primary practice is to always ask before taking action. Just remember this important phrase: ask before you act. Also remember, you should refrain from using hospital computers or other devices that don't belong to you, like radios and televisions. While working in a healthcare facility, it is important for you to remember exits must remain unobstructed at all times. Physical environment workers must also remember to never block hallways and doors with work equipment or materials. Slips and falls as a result of floor spills can potentially cause injury and even legal action. If you cause a spill, you must clean it up immediately. You must also notify the head clinical staff person as well as the facility department. Consider this. There is a power outage at a healthcare facility. The generators turn on and work properly. However, a nurse plugs in clinical equipment to one of the red receptacles, only to find there is no power. It is later learned that a contractor had earlier plugged in construction equipment to the red receptacle, causing a circuit breaker to trip. Making matters worse, the contractors failed to tell anyone about his actions. This scenario puts hospital patients in life-threatening situations. Dust barriers are typically hard barriers constructed of drywall and metal studs. These barriers are typically built from the concrete ceiling deck to the floor. When constructing a containment for a large and long-term project, you should include an anteroom. That is the first room you will enter from the hallway. The anteroom is where you will put on your Tyvek suit with head and boot covers as well as personal protection equipment. The anteroom must be kept under negative pressure relative to the hallway. The second room of the containment, which is the workroom, must have stronger negative pressure than the anteroom. By having the workroom under stronger negative pressure compared to the anteroom will stay cleaner, so that when you leave the anteroom to enter the hospital hallway, you will not be carrying dust and debris on your clothing. However, even by having stronger negative pressure in the workroom, you and your team must still HEPA vacuum and wet wipe the anteroom surfaces, at least at the end of each shift or more frequently if dirt is visible. Another issue to consider is the spread of contaminants through footwear and cartwheels. Tacky mats are designed to clean contaminants from both footwear and equipment wheels. Tacky mats should be placed at all entrances to the construction area and on both sides of the entrance to the anteroom. Negative air pressure should be maintained at a level of negative 0.02 inches of water column to control construction contaminants. That is the level of negative pressure in the anteroom relative to the hallway, and for the workroom relative to the anteroom. There are three components of a life safety program. They are detection, suppression, and containment. You may be required to disconnect one or all of these systems during certain phases of construction. The interim life safety measures will address this situation by requiring a temporary but equivalent system or plan to be implemented. Take note that a fire watch must be implemented if a detection system is impaired for more than 4 hours in a 24-hour period. The 4 hours do not have to be consecutive. In 2016, the Joint Commission officially adopted the National Fire Protection Association Life Safety Code of 2012. In that code, the rule for implementing a fire watch when a suppression is taken out of service is changed from 4 hours in a 24-hour period to 10 hours in a 24-hour period. Another important life safety procedure is called compartmentation. This is the use of walls, ceilings, floors, and doors to prohibit the transfer of smoke or fire from one area to another for a set period of time. Fire stops maintain the integrity of the barriers by effectively sealing penetrations. If your work requires penetrations in a fire or smoke structure, It is mandatory that you inform the facility staff before work begins. If, during the course of your work, you find a penetration through a rated structure created by someone else, please report it immediately to the facility staff. Hanging material across sprinkler pipes. NFPA Standard 25, Section 2-2.2 states, "Sprinkler pipes shall not be subjected to external loads by materials either resting on the pipe or hung from the pipe."